I think that's absolutely true. And again, that just reinforces what we were just saying. It's about learning together, because we bring information to the table that enables us to learn and grow together. One more. Engagement. Learning actively. Let's see if I can catch up with my notes. I can't tell you how many seminars and workshops I have sat through since 1975. And I have stacks and stacks, I had stacks and stacks and stacks of notebooks, of notes from seminars and workshop after seminar and workshop, and I never looked at any of them a second time. But what I did was learn something in every one of those seminars. And I finally got to the point a few years ago where I said, I'm just done taking notes. You know, which you guys are all screwing notes. I'm done taking notes. I'm just looking for the one thing I'm supposed to take home today. You know, that if you all take notes and that helps you, that's wonderful. But for me, what I've discovered was it just gets to be a lot of paper. And when I moved from pastoring Northern Bible Church the last 4 years, I moved from pastoring Northern to going on staff at Oak Hills. I got rid of a lot of old papers, and the stuff I learn is the stuff I get involved in. It's the stuff that I go, I need to do that. I write a note. I start thinking about how that will work. I go home. I get involved with it. I try it. Those are the things that I actually learn, and they become so much a part of me that I can't remember where most of the stuff came from that I've learned. It's just part of life. If we can get people involved in dialogue, what's really cool, you get people to start talking about something, and they go home and they think that what their new idea was their idea.
Cool.
And that's awesome. And it doesn't matter who came up with it or who said it. But when people are engaged, they're learning. Next one. I missed praxis. I don't know what happened to it. So let's talk about praxis. Blank this one out for just a second or something. But praxis is action with reflection. And that's really hard to do in a Bible study, but there are ways to do it. But in terms of discipleship, in terms of training, in terms of equipping, you remember what Jesus did after he took the 12, and then another time he took 70, but after he took the 12, and he sent them out, he said, I want you to go out preaching, casting out demons, preaching the kingdom, healing people. Do you remember what he did after that?
Mm-hmm.
What did he do?
He commented to them that he saw Satan fall.
Yeah, I saw Satan fall. What an affirmation of their ministry. And then he took them to the wilderness. Why did he take them to the wilderness?
They had to learn to apply it.
Yeah, I think maybe they needed to learn that. I think maybe they needed, let's be honest, ministry is exhausting. And I think maybe they needed some time to rest. And I think maybe they needed some time to process. I saw Satan falling. They got to process that. What just happened? And so if we can develop ways for people to do something and then talk about what they just did. One of the things we do, I have a class that I teach called How to Study the Bible, and one of the things we do is put a scripture text up on the screen, and then we just observe it together. And we talk through it together, and then we summarize it together. It's a group process. And it's fascinating because I've been doing that for years. And no single group has ever come up with exactly the same summary, but they always all say the same thing. Because it comes out of the text. But they discovered it. So they're doing and thinking about what they're doing. And then what's really valuable is when we step back sometimes and just talk about what we're doing. Why do we do that? Yeah.
My dad was a career Marine, and he was very disciplined. Obviously, military guys are very disciplined, but he was a drill instructor. And he would always say that the only way that he knew how someone could get it was that he'd show them and tell them and show them and tell them and show them again.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That was his favorite way of summing up how he taught people.
Now, if you can add to that,